lane Volibear, not buffed. It's legit. It's just the flex potential.
Oh, yes.
Okay, where? Oh my god!
We're Ezreal Yumiing, boys.
Listen, and this is gorgeous because this is the attempt at punishing in a different direction, right? As opposed to going full. Okay, we're gonna try and like get a hook champion and try and kill you regardless. You know what carrier can do. The Ezreal Yumi goes completely in the opposite direction, where like you're not gonna have any threat on us whatsoever. We're just gonna freely scale and hacker him with Yumi, Orianna.
Yeah.
Like this comp from Hammer Life is disgusting, but so is the T1 comp, right?
Yeah,
and
we've in that one as well was actually playing Ezreal up against Teddy in the longest game of all time, but. This is just so cool. There is so much to talk about with both of these drafts, and it's also, as you can see, he's got his on the go. As Morgan going to break the chains, but he's struggling here just a little bit. Umbral Dash going to do it. There's now Canna in trouble, but not enough as he just dabs on him. That's a solo kill for Canna on the top side. And Morgan, he was doing well in the lane, and then it all just falls apart.
Can go down quickly with Aatrox as we've
Johan is actually spotted out here. No flash, remember. This is a hacker room as Vista wants to try and get over, but Canna's already teleported down. A late teleport now to come through as Morgan tries to come down as well. But now finds himself 4 members of T1 and they will just back away. So thankfully, you know, Vista has all of his summoner spells and does manage to save the rest of his members, but not a lot of summoner spells left remaining here for Hammer Life.
Hammer Life, interesting.
Flash in from Carrier, looking for Deft. This one's personal as he devours him. The Ezreal's just dead. Senatom Kench, what a ridiculous combination here on the bottom side as they're just underneath the turret and Carrier will lick the cat to death.
That didn't work out. You know, it's kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter as Kana might get ganked here.
Yeah, a bit of a lane gank here from Johan, who's looking to make his way in. He can just ult. There's the flash in from Morgan, and this is a very dead Aatrox. Dawning Shadow comes down, though, and Cuz will turn up. They're turning it on the horse. Morgan is going to be able to grab the Aatrox, but now he's got a big bear after him. Looking to try and lock this one down. Faker coming on in, but they're taking them around the Rosie, as there's the barrel. And Cuz now lumbering towards the Gragas, and he will not have that body slam. Faker will pick up the kill. Chovy's going to come over. The plates will go over to Faker. To Cuz. But just a bit more money here for T1, holding on to approximately that 2,000 gold lead. As Deft is going to get Abyssal Voyaged on. But he's got the zoomies. He should be okay. But final chapter coming on down here as Teddy just locks up the kill. And Deft had flash, had cleanse, used nothing and died.
A Yumi ultimate on top of it, like, as a Hanwha Life, and this game is definitely not lost just through the sheer like wombo combo fighting power that you have. But if T1 keep it scattered a little bit, if they're able to position nicely enough, not group up while still using utility, they should be fine.
Yeah, well, in goes the horse and the cat. Let's see what this can do. True Shot Barrage doing a fair bit of work as well, but oh my god, the Encore is fantastic. Shockwave eaten by all of the shields as Deft now tries to keep himself alive, but he cannot. Faker locks him down with an auto attack with a whole bunch of notes on it. Chovy getting chased down by a Carrier. Oh, ex-teammates, but not friends anymore by the looks of it, as Canna will put him in the grave. And T1, 10-1. It feels like this game's pretty much done.
Oh, he just choked him out. The
yeah, he actually built the Staff of Flowing Water, but sold it when he was in base and decided to go for the Putrefier instead, just because of the disgustingness that is the Yumi and the amount of healing that she provides.
And now it's not even close, right?
God, Deft just takes so much damage here from Teddy, and Carrier is super tanky right now as well. As there's the final chapter used mainly in Fear. Teddy just needs a couple more autos. Yep, the Piercing Darkness will do it. My god, he 3-shots Deft. And that's not including the Kraken Slayer proc. Like, oh my god, this center is just revolting.
Yeah, this is disgusting from T1. Oh my
god. Just a little kitty cat with a dream. Oh, and Vista's just going to be obliterated. Yeah, no, I think that this is basically done and dusted. We are very close to a Cloud Soul as well, as Teddy's over here. There's the final chapter. Devour is going to be available, so Carrier just negates all of that. Johan's getting chunked by Teddy. As, Chovy doesn't even utilize the Shockwave, decides instead he just wants to flash out of this one. If he could flash out of the game, he probably would. Because, yeah, this is just looking almost impossible for Hanwha Life. Morgan now chasing after Canna. Will be able to smash him back towards his team. But maybe that's not where his team wants him, as Deft gonna get chunked. Does make it over the wall. Decent Shockwave to buy a bit of space, but in comes Teddy once again. He's got more damage than a nuke right now as Faker throws out the ult. He doesn't really find too much. He may have found the Yuumi, but the Yuumi died in the blink of an eye. But Ezreal doing exactly the same thing. 6-0-7 for this Senna. Looking to make it 7-0-7. But the tower is not something that Teddy wants to be under. And now T1 are just going to waltz down mid.
Yes, we've learned that Seraphine is more important than Hecarim.
100%. Well, Morgan, he does have a look in here at the side as Johan wants to desperately try and get towards this Baron. He will get on in, but he's dead way before any spite's even relevant. And T1 didn't want the Baron. They wanted the team fight. They wanted to win the game. Depth is just going to get popped. It's Canna that dives on over and smashes him into the death chamber. The Baron is taken in the end as, the Yuumi pops out. Chovy now will find another two-man shockwave. He's consistently hitting quite a few people with that, but it doesn't actually matter because it doesn't do enough damage. And now, 3 members of Harmalife Esports against the world of T1. And they are so scary. Yeah, Chovy's just going on a little bit of an adventure here. Wants to see what it's like on the T1 side of the Rift. And in the meantime, yeah, Kerry is just going to stop any potential backs. And I think this game's just done. Faker, surprise, out of the brush. Very, very dead. Chovy, Vista, of course, is going to be going down as well, as they're just going to follow him around as Kerry he's going to do the... Yeah, this one's done.
Make it stop.
Oh no, they're just hanging out. This is adorable. Quick, get the jukes. Oh wow, he really has been juking for a really long time. It's 20-1 is going to be the advantage here for T1. The rest of Harmalife are going to respawn. They're not going to give this one away for free necessarily. The Baroned up minions will make it very difficult as now we're going to get trolled by an inhibitor. As in goes Johan. Does knock back the Senna. Teddy will just get cast to the face. And now Morgan's trying to chase down Cuz. Canna in a little bit of trouble here, but Deft isn't going to find the Mystic Shards just yet. Haven't hopped out as Morgan's even teleporting in. All right, Faker from over the wall. We'll say goodbye to the Gragas. And we'll lock down that kill. Deft inside the Raptor pit. Relatively safe right now, but as the final chapter, Shockwave lands onto 2 once again, doesn't do any damage once again, as now Cuz looking for Chovy. Vista's going to die, and now Canna walks so extraordinarily fast. And Faker will just douse him in all of that magic damage. That will be the ace, finally! And T1 will say goodnight to Game 1.
I need a moment, man.
We gave you a moment. T1 should have finished a really long time ago, but instead they gave you that moment.
Unbelievable. This is, yeah, that's one of the most one-sided games I think we've seen all split, and that includes a couple of Damwon Kia games.
I mean, I can see your vote, by the way, but here's the post-it game breakdown. Let's have a look at that huge center number. Yeah, that's a big one. 23K, and the game only lasted 25 minutes.
I feel better about my choice now. I feel vindicated.
Yeah.
As, unironically, you are not allowed to do it with Senna Tahm Kench. Like, yes, Ezra Yuumi is not a strong lane, sure. But you're not allowed to win this hard. Like, I don't think that...
Welcome back everybody to the LCK Analyst Desk. This is the final day for the LCK Spring Split Analyst Desk, and today we'll be joined by Subinhyun, P3, and Gorilla. We have all teams now locked in for the playoff, and this is gonna be their final check before they are heading into the playoffs. Hecarim, Thresh, and Seraphine, the top 3 OP picks were open. Harmalife Esports chose to take Hecarim, and then T1 answered back with Seraphine, and then they completed their Senna Tahm Kench duo. We actually came to a conclusion that if we open 3 OP picks on the blue side, well, actually red side can also take 1 or 2 of them, so that was not a bad choice for Harmalife or T1. But I think the most critical and effective pick was Senna. Usually when you play Thresh with a marksman champion, well, there are some counter picks such as Senna and Tahm Kench. So T1 actually played the mind game really well, so they completed this Senna Tahm Kench duo really fast, which was also a block to the Thresh together with Marksman bottom duo. So Harmalife Esports had to play Ezreal and Yuumi champion that cannot beat those two strong champions in lane. I think T1 played Tahm Kench because they prepared this jungle Volibear. Olaf and Graves is actually a counterpick for Volibear jungle, but Hana Life Esports was the one banning that away, so T1 had this opening to lock in Volibear for jungle, and Ezreal and Yuumi, they are just the weak side matchup up against Senna and Tahm Kench, and then Senna, after the recent buff and the new items such as Kraken Slayer and also some change with the tank items, I think Senna, Tahm Kench has become even more stronger in these days. Tahm Kench, Volibear and Aatrox, they had a very beefy front lane, but still not many people could do damage over there, but with that multiple duo kills happening on the bottom lane, well, T1 was able to get super ahead, and Senna was already super fed to compensate the missing damage coming out from the front line. We had a very one-sided storyline over here in favor of T1 in the end. So we were really curious about that Ezreal Yuumi matchup up against Senna and Tahm Kench, and it actually went as we all expected. So Daft made a very critical mistake. He thought that Tahm Kench would not be in a close range to save Teddy, but you have to keep in mind that Ezreal actually didn't have his flash at this point in this game, but he still wanted to go in aggressively by Arcane shifting forward to Senna. But considering the fact that he didn't have flash, that was not the ideal play that he wanted to pull off. And then a very smart setup pulled off by Keria over here. Ezreal used his arcane shift earlier, so Keria was looking for that ultimate angle, and then because Teddy was able to outrange Yumi's ultimate, he just walked behind the wall, and at the same time, they didn't walk straight into the opponent's face, they actually took a detour, and still Teddy was able to find his autos, so he stayed super safe away from that Yumi's route. With this bottom lane difference coming out from T1, they were able to get super ahead all over the map. So Hana Life was desperate to find an opening right here. So Volibear did get a little bit overextended, but still T1's comp is so good at taking this fight and having a high sustainability. But Johan went in really deep together with Yuumi, but T1's players were not really that lined up for Yuumi to land a lot of CC. And then Senna and Seraphine, they can just fight forever. So after picking up some of the kills, T1 was able to clean up all the remaining players possible. And Hecarim Yuumi was the synergy that Hana Life Esports was looking for, but Seraphine and Senna were stronger. If Johan could survive for another tempo and then re-engaged, maybe, well, Hana Life Esports could have found the edge in that teamfight position, but T1 was actually standing in the corner, which means Yuumi cannot really find a huge value with her ultimate. Hana Life looked to be in a huge rush, whereas T1 was feeling very comfortable taking the fights that Hana Life Esports was throwing, and the AI predicted that this matchup will be having a very close series, but T1 was able to quite stomp the opponent, and Keria will pick up the POG with a small little heart. And 900 POG points, only one away from being the POG leader. 4 duo kills in a single game. An absurd record that was made by Teddy together with Keria. It's really hard to, pick up a kill onto Ezreal because this champion has a lot of survivability, and Tahm Kench usually stays in lane in order to farm up that CS, but it was really impressive to see that Keria was actually looking for some setup for a kill. Whenever he saw this angle, he just went straight in, landing that skills. Tom Kent slightly went down the tier list because a lot of professional players knew how to react to his ultimate angle, but Kiria was able to try something new over here, and he's tied for 3rd place together with Pusig, his older teammate. Maybe we can have a 3-way tie for the POG leaders at the end of the split. So that's also be a point of the match in this series, and he was able to share his votes together with Teddy as well. T1 looking very strong as they're heading into the playoffs. Let's see whether Hana Life Whispers can also put up their best shot up against T1.